Am I the asshole for being annoyed my girlfriend has started dressing weird? My girlfriend always dressed comfortably and practically until recently. She works at a professional job, and she would usually wear jeans, sneakers, t-shirts or sweaters, etc. About a month ago, she had her friends shave both sides of her head, but leave hair on the top and back of her head. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but she said she wanted it for a while, but she was too afraid of being embarrassed if it turned out badly. But now that everyone is working from home, nobody can go out, she took the chance and she loves it. Then she bleached her brown hair to blonde. Then in a week she dyed it fluorescent green. And she was buying a lot of new clothes, crop tops and tank tops, really loud pattern pants, platform sneakers that look like running shoes but have a sole that's like 3 inches tall, just generally flashy and eccentric stuff. And whenever I ask, she says that this is more her style, but she's just been more comfortable getting into it when there's less social pressure. She's stopped wearing bras, and that's also awkward because I can tell she gets stares. I asked what she's going to do when she has to go back to work, and she said she'd dress appropriately but obviously couldn't change her hair. But she didn't think that would be a problem. She'd been practically indispensable during the difficult time the company was having recently, and she couldn't see there being any trouble over hair. I've said I also don't love her new look, and she's always like I don't look that different, like it's still me, but honestly she does look really different. We had a fight after I asked her a couple times to just wear normal things when we hang out together, and she got really upset with me over it, saying that she was just trying to have some fun and try something different, and it was really rude of me to tell her how to dress. AITA for being annoyed with my girlfriend's change in style. You are the asshole. It's a tough time for everyone, and changing things up is a way of coping. Less social pressure can allow her to be more free while being stuck in the house. If you can't see beyond superficial things like hair and clothes, that's your problem, not hers. Gentle, you are the asshole from here. I understand that it's not what you like, but asking her to wear normal things was not good. You're normal, hers. She is changing her look and you don't like it. That's fine, but it's her look, and she's allowed to change it. If it bothers you that much, end the relationship. Trying to force someone into a mold that you deem acceptable is controlling and not okay. You could have approached this a lot better than you did. Have an actual conversation instead of basically telling her that her current clothes are abnormal. I think no assholes here. True, it's not his place to tell her what to wear, but he's well in his right to tell her he doesn't like her new style, especially if it's so drastic like he's describing. I agree with you, no assholes here. His GF got a 180 change in I guess about 2 months, and that would be a lot to take in. So of course he wants her to revert back to STH familiar to his eyes. Imagine when GF backs to normal and OP starts dressing and looking like an entire new person, and see how she react, lol. And he's allowed to be embarrassed / not attracted to her when she changes the way she looks so drastically. If I shaved my head and got a face tattoo, or decided to dress up in full Lolita wear and carry around a giant lollipop everywhere, I wouldn't be surprised if my partner found it unattractive. Yes, but that doesn't mean your partner then gets to tell you that you should dress differently. That's controlling regardless. I feel like there's something else going on here too. He had previously posted in AITA being upset about his girlfriend having heated remote calls meetings for her work during the pandemic. I told her that still, I don't like it. I don't like living in a house with someone who has these kinds of arguments day in and day out that I have to hear, and that I regretted moving in together. I hadn't known this side of her when I moved her in. I don't know how to properly phrase what might be happening here, but I do have to wonder how often OP takes issue with something his girlfriend is doing that is different or abnormal or annoying, or simply not what he thinks is the correct way to talk, act, and dress. Sounds like he has a picture in his head of how she should act and look, and he thinks she's failing because she doesn't perfectly conform to his picture. This is not a healthy relationship. Someone else said it well. He can choose not to be with her. He can't choose who she is. I have to agree that this doesn't sound very healthy, at least the way it is portrayed in his posts. I agree, not the asshole. If my husband randomly decided that he wanted to change his entire style, I would also question the reasons behind it. Who does he want to impress? If it's not me, I love having long hair but cut it short because my husband said he thought I would look cute with it short. I liked it for a while but decided to go back to long hair. He said, well, I think it's cute short, but it's your body. We all have our preferences. Shaving your head and dyeing your mohawk green is pretty extreme. And I can't say I would want to go out with a woman who suddenly couldn't live without it. He said, well, I think it's cute short, but it's your body. We all have our preferences. This is the diff. OP didn't say this part. He's annoyed her answer was no. I like myself like this. He's got to decide if it's enough of a turn off to leave, but you have to take that on the chin. If your husband came back and said, well, that's annoying, I like the short hair more, I'd think that was controlling too. Honestly, I don't blame you for being against it. You got together with her and she is currently going through a period of her life when she's experimenting. Not all of it is gonna look perfect, but in the end there's not much you can do. It comes down to whether or not you are willing to stay with her even if she isn't looking or dressing the way you want. It sounds like you're the arsehole for wanting her to dress a certain way, but I get where you're coming from. You would be the arsehole if you forced her, but as things stand you gotta really talk it through and either come to understand the changes or leave. Not the arsehole, but you're closer to being the arsehole than she is. Agreed, not the arsehole. She's not an arsehole for changing her style, but I can definitely see Arp's perspective. I'm not attracted to unconventional styles like that at all and would be really unhappy if my partner started dyeing his hair unnatural colors and dressing like that. I don't want to be with someone who experiments with style in that way. Art's gotta consider if that's a deal breaker for him. Right? She can dress the way she wants, and you can have any reaction that you have. No assholes here. But maybe this relationship is nearing its end. He wasn't an asshole until he tried to control the way she dressed around him and kept harping on it. That is never okay to do to her partner. How he feels doesn't make him an asshole. How he acts does. Right? Also not the arsehole if she was pulling these things out of her closet. You would be the asshole. The fact that she is buying them new tells me that her normal wasn't this until recently. There is also nothing wrong with wanting your partner to look presentable when you're out together. Everyone's idea of presentable and where that line is different. I've worked in kitchens for almost 12 years. Dirty black dikes or slacks with a t-shirt is fine for my standards going out. My wife however prefers me more put together than that. Fuck off with that presentable shit. No one's saying she's not presentable. It seems that she just wants to dress a little bit more in the alternative sphere. It's 2020 not 1950. How dare you? It's blasphemous to harbor the slightest inkling of a thought to have any expectation of how your significant other should look / sarcasm. This is a reasonable response. Thank you. Posts like this is where it gets really entertaining and you see just how fucked this place is. It's beyond comical how people here love to completely discard the idea that relationships are all about compromise and not black and white, my body my rules. Well, guess what? When you have a significant others, your fucking decisions affect the other person too. When getting into a relationship with someone, you do so based on a whole lot of things. Things like their appearance and behavior are some of these things. When the other person goes completely against those things you grew to know and understand, it's very reasonable to be uncomfortable and question it. You have your own social rules. She violated them. She wore a bra before and it was likely within their own social rules to wear one. So yeah, it's reasonable that he is uncomfortable when she decides to ditch it. Had she not worn bras before they got together and he accepted that, then he'd be a huge asshole to make her change that. The only asshole thing he did here was to infer that her current dressing isn't normal, but I think he meant normal as how she was dressing before, not that she literally wasn't normal. Not the asshole. I don't want to be with someone who experiments with style that way, feels super duper shallow. I can see preferring someone's hair this way or that, but if something so superficial dictates whether you stay with someone or not, what happens if they lose a limb or get sick and their hair falls out? I would really question that person's commitment. If that person isn't their ride or die, they certainly aren't their ride or die. If he wanted to date someone with that style, Don't you think he would have before? I don't date people with the expectation that they look the same forever. If they wanted to experiment with their style, and it's only been 2 months, then they can have it. This is the crux of it for me. Who stays the same forever? Who looks the same forever? Who is the same forever? I'm not suggesting that folks abandon their essence biannually, but life shapes people. Who we are at the start isn't who we are at the end. To be with someone who expects no experimentation, growth, or change seems stifling. If that is the type of partner OP wants, that's their choice, but it may be a sign their values don't align anymore. They've been together 5 years, and people change a ton, especially when they are younger. That's okay. Look at ARP's posts. They've been together for 5 years and this is the second post complaining about his girlfriend. He has already told her he regrets moving in with her. To me it seems like he's fallen out of love with her instead of having a mature and adult conversation about the relationship and how he feels about her. He is nitpicking everything he doesn't like about her. He is going about it in an immature way, because he doesn't need to drag her down mentally if he doesn't feel attracted or loves her anymore. It's not uncommon to feel this way at the 5-year mark, but it's not cool to make your partner feel like shit about themselves. Not gonna lie, what you're describing sounds like a sick local mayo, right? I love those chunky shoes and pattern pants. And her hair probably looks awesome. They should break up. Then I can date her. You deserve her a lot more than this dude. It does seem like she's probably looking cute AF. Maybe to you, but can't he have his own opinion? Literally, this is the pinnacle of fashion in my city to the point where it's become tired. It's funny, it's so outrageous in other places. It almost feels boring to be offended by it. I think maybe she's evolved in a different direction and he's not the man for her anymore. The style speaks to creativity and a pinch of rebellion, and sounds hella gay. I love it. Okay, so it's not just me. As a lady who likes ladies, I may be a bit biased, but I literally thought this as I was reading the post, and I have to say I'm 100% on board with the new look. Straight girl over here, and I also immediately thought, wow, so she's gonna come out as a lesbian now, right? LOL. To each their own. I'd have to see it to make a call, but based on green hair, patterned pants, and high shoes seems tacky and I won't like it either. I hate the description of her look, hair especially, and I'm into alternative styles and hair. It just sounds like a 15-year-old at Hot Topic, and it kind of is. If this is her first time experimenting, literally sounds like Billie Eilish but more edgy. You're the asshole. If you think you will date the same person for years and they not change, you are mistaken. Clothes and hair are just that. It should not change how you feel about somebody, especially at this point in the relationship. It just looks like you are trying to control another individual's right to be an individual. You are the asshole, not for expressing that you're not a fan. Communication is great. No, specifically you are the asshole for asking her to dress normally. Whatever she feels comfortable wearing and what she enjoys is normal. You're allowed to express you're not a fan. But the moment you start trying to control what she wears through social manipulation, describing her new clothing as abnormal by telling her to wear normal stuff, is an attempt to socially manipulate her into feeling uncomfortable in these new items and thus produce the clothing worn that you approve of. Bullshit. Describing what you used to wear as normal is just being accurate. It's not manipulation. It's the definition of the word normal. If you wear sneakers every day for a year, and then wear platform heels for a day, it's abnormal behavior. Of you don't eat fish because you don't like them, and then one day decide you love sushi. That's abnormal. It's not a manipulation tactic. It's the word normal that you're upset with. When someone goes up to a random stranger who is dressed differently than them and asks a stranger why they don't dress normal, that is social manipulation. Because you don't know if that stranger is dressed normal for them, and you're projecting your own concept of normal on them. But OP knows what her normal is. He isn't being manipulative. He is using a word you've decided not to like. You are the asshole. It's part of her self-expression. If she's saying that this is what she really wants to be doing but feels pressured to do otherwise, and she's found an opportunity to try it out, she's going to be really upset with you if you start piling on that pressure. Plus, like she said, it's still her. I'm sure you're going to get a ton of people saying over the top shit like you don't appreciate her, she should dump you. LOL, because well, It's the internet. A huge part of relationships is comfort, trust and feeling like you can be your true self with your partner. You did something that makes it less likely that you can feel those things, especially the true self part. Even if you don't like the way she looks like this, giving on this will reward you with a stronger relationship, which is more than worth it. Do yourself and your relationship a favor here. Some of the most powerful words in a relationship are "I was wrong." Give her a call. Tell her you really thought about what she said. Ask her on a date. Understand it might have to just be for a home cooked meal with whatever is going on now. And ask her to wear her loudest outfit that she's the most proud of. If you do that, I assure you that you will be very grateful that you did. Assuming of course that you don't breathe a word of criticism about the outfit or pull some other bonehead move once she arrives. With all due respect, I find this attitude, though you should accept me no matter what attitude, to be toxic. He is allowed to have preferences, just as she is allowed to make her look something that is not to his taste. While there is nothing wrong with her look, it's easy to imagine how someone would be uncomfortable with a partner who looks like that. It brings a lot of attention, and it isn't everyone's idea of beauty. He's trying to start a conversation on it. He might not be the most tactful 100% of the time because, again, it's uncomfortable, but it sounds like he's trying his best to respectfully navigate what is for him a really crappy situation. No assholes here. And if you don't think you can ever like this is fine to be a deal breaker. It's better for both of you. It's better for you to not be with someone you're not attracted to, and better for her to not be with someone that's not attracted to her. People are going to say that it's shallow, but being attracted to your partner is important in a relationship. It's not wrong at all to leave for this reason.
Walk through with her attitude. Gucci on her neck, I can't be mad at you. Yeah, I just do the shit I feel like I had to do. Visa swipe every time she get mad at you.